So today's upload was going to be about how pleased I was to have this thing. This thing was going to be a complete game changer for me because, as you've probably seen in a lot of my videos, I get kicked out of supermarkets, I get kicked out of shopping centres and you know, all sorts of places, because there's a law in Russia that allows you to film in any public place, and shops are considered public places. Anywhere that the public has access to without restrictions is considered a public place. But what shops usually do is they put stickers on the window saying filming is forbidden, and they're actually breaking the law by doing that. And they tell the security guards and the people that work there, look, filming is forbidden. If anyone comes in with a camera, tell them they can't film. And so this happens an awful lot. You see, what these people want to do is they are worried that maybe a competitor will come in, or maybe someone will come and film and give a bad review or something like that. So they just don't want the hassle. So they're going to tell you you can't film. You're going to tell them you can film. And they're going to say, well, if you film, we'll call the police. And you're going to say, well, go on then, call the police. But then if the police come, the likelihood is that the police will agree with you. So therefore, because obviously the law allows you to film, the chances are that they're going to make up something else, like he was causing a scene and disturbing shoppers by filming. We have complaints about him. And so you'll end up going to court. And obviously, you know, if it went to court, you would win. But do you really need all that hassle? Especially when all you're trying to do is create YouTube videos to show you guys outside of Russia what it's like to live in Russia, right? To go to these supermarkets, what kind of products are on sale in shopping malls or in furniture shops or anything like that. And also, it kind of ruins your mood when you're out filming and you're just trying to go to somewhere that's interesting to make a video, and you end up having like a mini argument with the person who works in the shop, or someone just comes up to you and for no reason like starts shouting at you, get out of here, we're calling the police, and stuff like that. It's not nice, it's not good for your mood. And it got to the stage where I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not going to go to shopping centres, I'm not going to go to malls, I'm not going to go to furniture shops and places like that, because I can't be bothered to have these confrontations and to get kicked out. So I came up with an idea. Well, it wasn't actually my idea, it was someone in my Telegram chat group who said, Sam, why don't you get yourself one of these things, these tiny Insta 360 Go cameras, and you can just put it on here, and they've got this little magnet that goes to the other side of your shirt or whatever you're wearing, and basically it's pretty much, you can't even really see it, you can't even really notice it, right? And so I thought, that's a really good idea. It's not like I'm secretly filming, because you're allowed to film. The most important thing is that you're filming in a place where you're allowed to film, but they don't notice you're filming, right? Now, of course, it'll be a bit weird because I'll be walking around and I'll be speaking, and people will think, is he just speaking to himself, what's going on there? But the chances are that I probably wouldn't get noticed with this thing. So I ordered it. Now, it was very difficult to get hold of this one, the 360S. And the reason is because, well, it's quite new. And so all the places that sell them, they say to you, you try and order it, and they say, oh, we haven't got it in stock now, but if you're willing to wait a couple of weeks, if you're going to pay in advance or whatever, we'll get it for you. And it's kind of annoying. And so I searched for a while and I found someone selling it. And a week later, I got it. I paid 50,000 rubles, and here it is, this amazing video. And I was going to make the video today showing me walking around with this camera. But then I go to register the camera. You see, the camera doesn't work until you register it. You've got to download the app, and then you register the camera, and then the buttons work. Until that point, any button you press, it will just say, please register your camera. And so I did that. I tried to register it, and I was going through the process for like 3 hours and going insane. You know, when things don't work to do with digital stuff, you get really angry, right? You're like, what's going on? I just don't understand why it's not working. I got so fed up that I wrote to support, and I said to support, you know, what's going on? They went through the whole thing with me. I gave them the serial number, and they said, well, your camera's been stolen. It's part of a batch of cameras that have come from Japan that have been stolen. and therefore you cannot register it. We've blocked it, so it can't be registered. Please contact your seller. And so I'm like, oh no, I can't believe this. So frustrating. So I've contacted the seller. To be fair, I don't think he knew either. And so he's asked me now to send the camera back for technical support to look at the camera, which obviously I've already got the message from the company to say that the camera will not work, that it's been blocked because it's been stolen. But I guess the person selling it doesn't really want to admit to that. So now he's asked me to send it back for technical support issues, and if they can't fix the problem, they'll give me another one. But I'm thinking that the other one that I get is probably also going to be from the same batch, right? And it's also going to be stolen and not work. So when it comes to getting kicked out of these shopping centres, shopping malls or whatever, what can you do? How can you not get kicked out? Well, it's very difficult. I mean, you could take a copy of the law with you, but they'll say, I don't know what that copy is, it's wrong. You know, you've got the wrong copy there. The real copy says you can't film. The Russian law forbids it. They'll say anything they want. Well, they say, yeah, the Russian law allows filming, but we forbid it here. And you'll be like, right, well, you're not allowed to forbid it because it's the law. You can't just make up your own rules just because you want to, just because it's your shopping centre doesn't give you the right to make up rules which go against the constitution of the country, right? You can't say, well, we can kill people in here. Well, why? Well, because we know it's our place, so we're going to kill people. Well, you can't do that, right? Because it goes against the laws of the country, the constitution. If the constitution says you can film in any place that has public access, then they can't restrict it, but they will do. And the security guards, it's going to be impossible to speak to them. If they say no, that's it, no. You can ask to speak to the people in charge. The chances are that they're going to say, well, we need to get permission from the owners, from the head office. And you're going to be like, well, it's a public place, I'm allowed to film. And I'm like, no, it's not. You just don't know the law, you're not allowed to film, and it's going to go around in circles. Can you go and introduce yourself to start with and say who you are and what you're going to do? The chances are if you do that, then they're going to say to you, you can't film. So what do you do? How do you get around it? Well, it's pretty much impossible to get around it unless, you know, you just meet somebody who understands the law, because every now and again the security guards will have a massive go at you. They'll say you can't film. They'll take you to the supervisor, and the supervisor will say, well, of course you can film, it's the law, you're allowed to. Another way to get around it is to film on your phone, because everybody uses phones these days. But if you use a gimbal and your phone looks like it's like kind of professional, the chances are they're going to tell you not to film. But if you've just got your phone in your hand, then everybody films stuff from time to time, and you can probably get away with it. Also, if you had your headphones in, maybe it looks like you're chatting to someone. If the security guard comes up to you and says, what are you filming? You say, what, I'm busy, what do you want? So I've just done something crazy. I've locked myself out of the house. My keys are in the car over the wall. And I'm locked out. What an idiot, Sam, what an idiot. What am I doing? What am I doing in my life, Sam? So now my phone's all wet, but I knew this toilet paper would come in handy. Dry it all off, can't I? So there you go. No filming of supermarkets or shopping malls for another couple of weeks, I guess. Let's see what happens.